What do you mean by federalism? Federalism is a system of political organization where final authority is divided between subunits and a center. Unlike a unitary state, sovereignty is constitutionally split between territorial levels so that units at each level have final authority. Citizens thus have political obligations to two or more authorities. The extent and details regarding allocation of authority between the subunit and center may vary. Typically, the center has powers regarding defense and foreign policies, while subunits have powers over law and order, development and social welfare.
Key features of federalism. Federalism is a multi-level system of governance. It recommends reducing the power of the political center. Federalism is therefore a variant of liberal democracy. Key features of federalism are power division on two or more levels, different layers of government and each layer enjoys authority, administrative powers, constitutional assurance and authority of power. The basic feature of federalism cannot be altered. Courts hold power to interpret the constitution as an umpire. Sources of revenue is specified. Unity and objective both safeguarded. Every nation can choose to have its own power-sharing system, and ideal federalism systems should have both the aspects: mutual understanding between the states and center and agreement to live together under one flag. Is India a federal nation? The Constitution of India describes India as a union of states in the Article 1 of the Constitution. This means India is a union comprising of various states. Still, India is based on the principles of federalism. It combines the features of a federal government. The central government works for the whole country and the state government looks after the states. The areas of activity of both the governments are different. Indian Constitution has left space for federalism by dividing power between union and state government. Thus, it has three lists of power distribution in the country. Union list. It includes important affairs of the country such as defense, finance, communication and currency. State list. It includes state and local importance affairs like police, trade, commerce, agriculture and irrigation. Concurrent list. It includes subject of common interest to both state and union such as education, forest, trade union. Some subjects are left aside such as computer and information technology, and these are left for the union government description as residuary subject. Some states of India enjoy special status such as Jammu Kashmir that has its own constitution. There are also some units of territory that enjoy little power and smaller enough to become a state. Such areas like Chandigarh, Delhi, Lakshadweep, they are called union territories run by union government. The power share between center and state is basic arrangement by Indian Constitution, and Indian Parliament cannot change it on its own but by the help of both houses, upper and lower houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, with 2/3 of majority. Indian judiciary plays a significant role in implementation of such provisions. Such cases are drawn to High Court and Supreme Court only. Practicing federalism in India. The real success of federalism in India lies in its nature of democratic politics. The spirit of federalism is to respect ethnic lingual diversity and give administrative autonomy to smaller states who are willing to live under one flag. The formation of smaller state was the first and a major test for Indian democratic politics. Some states were created based on differences of culture, ethnicity or geography. They were Nagaland, Uttarakhand and Jharkhand. The central government, though resisted linguistic states division, but agreed on the concept later as the experience has shown it strengthened the unity of the country. Second litmus test was creation of Indian Federation language policy. Hindi is India's official language but spoken by only 40% of Indians. Indian Constitution has well-defined power distribution list to decrease friction between the union and the state. Conflicts occurred in past the way the ruling parties and leaders followed these arrangements. After 1992, the era of coalition governments started since no single party got a clear majority and alliances of many parties formed the government. The new culture of power sharing and respect for the regional powers started in that period. The Supreme Court ruling also strengthened India's federal structure by stopping central government to dismiss state governments. Decentralization in India. Decentralization is the shift of power from the central or state government to the local level bodies and to non-government and private organizations. Hence, the idea behind the decentralization is to share power to the level where problems actually occurs. The federalism can have two or more tiers of governance. India has only reached to the two levels of federalism, and they are union and state. India needs additional tiers of power share at the state level. Panchayati Raj brought decentralization to some extent. Although Panchayati Raj is still in its infancy stage, in this the concept was to give more power to local authorities and elected members and to those who are directly affected by the decisions of state and central governance. Indian Constitution recognized this concern, and since then many attempts were made to bring the power to villages and municipalities. That was only half decentralization. Reasons were: state authority controlled execution of laws, election to the local level were irregular, lower bodies never held power on resources. The first major step was taken in 1992 when the constitution was amended to make third tier of governance more effective. Some highlights of the amendments are: constitutional ruling to hold regular elections to local bodies, reservation of seats to give scheduled caste, scheduled tribes and other backward classes a representation, minimum 1/3 of seats reserved for women, formation of State Election Commission to conduct panchayati and municipal elections, state government to share powers and revenue with local government.